in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media. And I'm your friend and your host, your brother, Hajji, Dr. Roshan, in the raw. I'm looking at today's Kaito News. I'm just totally amazed, as usual with him, Aubrey Norton, opposition leader, and for Mr. Kemraj Ramjatan, his boss as leader of the APNO. But government plans for new ID cards worrying. Now, what is it to be worried about if the government is trying to upgrade the system in this country so that people like us automatically have global entry to Guyana? Before the elections, the next elections, these guys are afraid. So he is saying billions being mismanaged by the PPP. Hello, Norton, what happened with the APNO or the PNC in their 5 years? How much was mismanaged and how much was taken by corruption and deceit by some of your ministers and your acolytes and satellites for scholarships, man? And so much more of mismanagement and thievery in contracts, overpayment. Norton, you are not speaking to only your people, a small percentage of whom you control. You're speaking to the nation, people like me, and intellectuals of your party who think very lowly of you, which is why you had to go nationally to appeal for unity within the party. And more so, you're not the kind of a person who can appeal to unity because your people just don't like you. Now, the new ID card is something very special, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. It is like a passport that when we Guyanese come in here, we don't have to do that paperwork. We just scan it, and boom, we go through. And you know what? Most of the costs have been stood by an Arab country who are trying to build good relationship with us and wants us to become like a kind of a trading partner with us. That's why these people do these things. They don't give you not something just for free. There have to be something behind it, but this is good. And for the e-passport, which I will possibly do a piece on that at the same time, which the Attorney General has dealt with, electronic transaction law on the cards for 2023. This is another article in the same paper. Basically, that there is that you can do all government business on the internet and pay your money right there without having to go to GRA and government places. You can use your credit card or your debit card and pay online. So you can't get robbed, and they're getting rid of cash transactions. People can't rob you. Now, let me come back to this, a bit of assassinity from Aubrey Norton. Now, I must let you know, recently I've been getting to look up to him a little bit, but then not too long after, he has a tendency of smearing himself again with total ridiculousness and dirt. I don't want to use the other word, and you should know what I'm talking about. So it's worrying Aubrey Norton. Why is it worrying him? Simply because they cannot, the PNC, who are masters of rigging elections, they cannot think of rigging with this kind of an ID card, as they have done for 28 years and tried it this year, but they can't try it with the new ID card. This is why it is worrying. So let me go to the article. That was my take. Friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. Leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, is questioning the recent announcement by Vice President Jagdeo that digital identification cards will soon be given out. The government of Guyana on December 10th disclosed that it intends to produce new and improved digital national identification cards. So they wanted fingerprinting for voting, they wanted digital type of voting, all kinds of things. And now when the man is moving with the right, powerful one thing, they are having vibrations in the skull. Aubrey Norton brains is dancing in his skull with the envy as usual. Now, the government of Guyana on December 10th disclosed, according to Jagdeo, the new ID cards will be done with assistance from partners from the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. They're trying to get closer to us. We are trying to be more like them developmentally. The Vice President made this disclosure during a press conference held at the office of the President, where he said that the ID cards will have a secure chip. Very important, I know those chip things. Which will have a secure chip which can store data, including blood type, date of birth, driver's license, and taxpayer identification card. So this ID expresses and exposes everything for you. So if you have an accident or a situation, immediately through your ID card, they can know what is your blood type, and if they can prepare while the ambulance is trying to get you there to have the blood type put in place. Vice President made Jagdeo said too that the necessary legislation to allow for the card's use will be taken to the National Assembly next year. And this will be good to have all of this done at the earliest opportunity, within a year of next year, I hope. It will be for nationals and people who are resident in Guyana. So if you're coming to work here, you have a different color card. Guyanese will have one color card, he explained. Now we touch a very important thing. If they're coming on a work visa, they will have a special card. But we have to have, Jagdeo, something special done. People who are coming to work here cannot become citizens. They got to be like Dubai. Under no circumstances should they become citizens, because we as a people will disappear. We as a nation, as a people, we will no longer exist. Because imagine Brazilians and Venezuelans coming in here and are usurping everything, and we totally disappear. They're coming here for a purpose. They're coming here to work, whether as contractor or whatever. They must never, ever become citizens of the land under no circumstances. Carbon copy from Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. The digital ID card, the Vice President noted, can be used at banks and other institutions with ease, because they will have everything there that they need. When they, Guyanese, come home, they can take out their card and just swipe and come in. And you know it's the same person. They might do an iris or something test to ensure that it's you, because people can steal an ID card and swipe. So the ID card has to have something. When they come in and they swipe nationally now to enter into our airports, they have to take your eye at least on the machine. They don't have to go through this elaborate customs and all of that at immigration, etc., making it easier for that. And that is very important. And you know the big, ugly form that Guyanese uses? So much space there wasted when we come into the country. You know, and the writing is so tiny, even with your eyeglasses you can't see it. You need the magnifying glasses. So for the time being, if Mr. Jagdeo, President, Vice President Jagdeo, if you got to order some of that still, print it with bigger prints. It's disgusting. However, the opposition leader said Guyanese should recognize that their resources are being mismanaged. He ain't get nothing for say, so they probably call him for his viewpoint. So he got to say something to make himself and his party or the people he rules, like the AFC led by Ramjatan, that he is their boss, and he governs them and controls them and even tell them who will become chairman or vice chairman, even if they win. I mean, the man is powerful. And men like Ramjatan, they have to take it. I mean, they just got to sit down and take the abuse and the insults. So he's saying the resources mismanaged. So we should put him to manage everything. Can you imagine what happened in 2015 to 2020? We put him again. They should recognize that there is no planning, and Barack Jagdeo treat this country as if it is his plantation. So he's just trying to emotionally get to some of the people whose skull they control. He just came back from the United Arab Emirates and says to people, Guyana will get new ID cards. He goes to Norton. He studies. He's an intellectual. He's recognized world over. Can you imagine people would just pass you by even if you were President Norton? Is it a deal that he would have made that some people will benefit from? He's just emotionally trying to get into the skull of the few of the people that he can control in his grouping. Who determined from a technical standpoint that this is the best system for us to use? Or is it his view that is God, and he is God Almighty, and whatever he does, the Guyanese people have got to live with? Well, we must remember, Aubrey, we, the citizens of this country, voted for them to make decisions on our behalf. If you do not understand how governance works in a nation, or any nation, the people vote for them. And therefore they make decisions on our behalf. Banners. Norton explained that the announcement was particularly worrying, since Barack Jagdeo historically is linked to failure. Sorry, buddy. Nothing is linked to failure. It is you and your party and the guy that you control, Ramjatan of the AFC, that are linked to failure. Everything you all did, failure. You destroyed Hydro, your failure. And then you had Ramjatan to tag along with you. How can the people of this country forgive him? You all destroyed sugar, and then Barack Jagdeo and his party resurrected it and gave back people the opportunity of a livelihood, an opportunity to live. You destroyed sugar, and sugar destroyed you all because you lost all the votes through Ramjatan and Nagamutu. According to him, the People's Progressive Party was given $32 billion to find alternative employment and activities for sugar workers, but ended up destroying the industry. They had that. And they destroyed the sugar industry without making a plan for the workers, without making a plan for them to form cooperatives, to teach them new skills. Even the factory workers who were skilled people to start to work as welders and and so on for ExxonMobil or such corporations. You all did nothing. People of Guyana, you got to remember this man, Kemraj Ramjatan. You got to remember this man, Aubrey Norton. Look keenly at them. Never forget. Well, Moses Man Nagamutu is in sojourn. But watch Moses Nagamutu phase 2. And operator, don't turn it off too quickly. My editor, hold it for a few seconds. Poor Ramjatan. The government cannot account for the 32 billion. Yet he, Jagdeo, can go off and come back telling Guyanese he made some deal for ID cards. I mean, it's like a child not getting his lollipop or his sweetie, and he come and he hopping and he didn't get his sweetie, so he finding fault with everybody else's chocolate and candies and fancy fruits and so on. So he's jumping and hopping. It is so totally senseless as far as I'm concerned. Aubrey Norton keeps on destroying himself. I hope the people of the People's National Congress will come to the reality and understand that this man has, along with the previous leader, not Granger, the real leader was Harman. They have wiped out the People's National Congress. Meanwhile, the Vice President also announced that the government is also looking to introduce e-passports. Now, the next phase is probably e-passports. He said, explaining that he met with the Abu Dhabi exports and Guyana is looking to the entity to fund a project here. Fund. Listen, Aubrey. Fund. Fund, Mr. Norton. For F-U-N-D. Fund. You got it? Aubrey? I think so. I pray so. They will fund 90% of the cost and the government 10%. Oh my goodness gracious. What do you say there, Aubrey? You guys could have done that? It has to do with our airport. So the cabinet has approved that to move fully into an e-visa portal and to put in a number of e-gates so that in future, hopefully within 8 months to a year, that it will almost seem paperless coming in through our airport, but with a lot of security features, the VP said. So it'll be so easy to enter our country with our e-passports, and those having e-visa, it will be an easy thing to come through our airports. So, Excellency, former President, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, and Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, Cabinet of Guyana, I applaud you for these wise thoughts in order to create an amazing nation and society totally absorbed in the development and growth of our country. We cannot but help to appreciate what is good for Guyana. Your friend, your brother, me, Hajji, Dr. Roshan Khan, in the raw. I'll say thank you. Farewell, friend.